Okay, good morning everyone. Here we are. It's just a couple of hours after the Revendreth video has been released, and we're pretty excited, aren't we,
yeah.
Nathan?
I can't wait.
I mean, what we've seen already, this is the fourth in the series of videos and the last one as well. So this is really setting the scene for everything we're going to see in Shadowlands. What we've seen originally in Bastion. What did we see there, Nathan?
We saw Davos and the betrayal of the Kyrian Order.
Yeah. And basically the fall of Uther, the Lightbringer, in the Shadowlands, really reacting against what he would have done before. And so, yeah, the Order of Bastion betrayed by one of its own. Then on to Maldraxxus.
We had the soldiers and Draca pretty much, so the afterlife of the warrior, more or less, and how there was almost a civil war between the five houses.
Yeah. And for me, what we see is the guardians of the Shadowlands, who are now under attack from within and possibly influenced from without in a civil war. So again, turmoil, everything's changing for them. And then we saw the beauty of Ardenweald.
We basically saw Ardenweald, how it's more or less in a drought and the life is being drained, and they're having to sacrifice their own cocoons or life pretty much in order just to keep Ardenweald and the world tree alive.
And for me, you saw Ursok go into the cocoon and the character feeding the buds of life into it. And it was almost like replacing the taint, giving the kind of nature beings the last opportunity to remove the evil, come back to a state of nature. And now suddenly that's dried up and they're in trouble. So again, big problems in Shadowlands, which leads us directly onto Revendreth, which some have suggested it's pretty much the final chance for the most evil of all souls. Would you agree, Nathan?
The final redemption before they supposedly get put on trial to go to the Maw, straight to the
Yep.
jailer, straight to hell, pretty much.
So we're pretty excited for this. Quick recap. Here we go. Let's dive straight in.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yep. Someone's getting tortured.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you that's Garrosh. That's got to be Garrosh.
Oh, yes. Oh, here we go. It's a switch of pace.
To the good people of Revendreth. It is with optimism that I address you today.
Is that Denathrius?
Though these are challenging
Could
times.
be.
I think he's the Lord of them all.
Firstly, I assure you that our holy mission to help the most violent and wicked souls atone for their sins is and always will be our utmost priority.
So is this guy on trial?
Effective. Our judgment keen but fair.
Oh, look, they love
We,
it.
Revendreth, remain committed to bringing eventual redemption to all who desire it. It is through your faithful work that even the most evil and prideful beings may ultimately be spared an eternity in the Maw. Unfortunately,
well, so you can't get out of the Maw once
the
you're in.
flow of such hubris-ridden souls has virtually ceased. And as a result, anima, our most precious resource, is in dwindling supply. Even we, the faithful who extract the anima, have not been spared the effects of this mysterious drought. Yes, we still have our old reliables,
Yeah,
our
but that's Garrosh.
workhorses. Yet I fear they
You
will
called
not
it.
be enough.
I knew it. Actually,
We are
everyone guessed it.
doing everything in our power to gather more anima. But, simply put, we must all, rich and poor alike, make sacrifices for the greater good. Therefore, I have decided to implement a strategy of conservation and rationing, which should keep the anima flowing to those most in need.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this manner, we will keep our people strong and our land healthy. Despite the efforts of those who would use this crisis to further their own ends and rebel against the rightful structures of our society. Rest assured, we shall bring these miscreants to justice. With fairness and mercy, of course. I am, after all, nothing if not compassionate. My loyal subjects, we are doing all that can be done to stimulate Animar production and fulfill Revendreth's honorable purpose. Remain devout and resolute, and know that I will lead us all into a brighter future.
Where's that light coming from? Okay.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
interesting. Wow.
Pre-purchase now. Buy it.
Already done. Already got my
Wow.
mouse.
So
Okay,
a fairly
so-
short one. How long was that? Was only not even 4 minutes long. So
About 3 minutes 40, roughly.
yeah, a lot shorter than the other ones, but I think it said all it needed to say.
So is there almost another inner turmoil, or like not it's civil war as such, but like from what I see there, the top powerful ones are keeping the anima and just letting the other poor ones or less powerful ones just kind of rot away in the corner, while they sit in Castle Nathria and just feed off the life that's left.
This is a classic class structure, isn't it? You've got the rich at the top, and you've got all of the rest, the workers, the poor at the bottom, and the guy at the top is literally bleeding the anima, the money, the currency, the life force
Yeah.
from everyone, rationing it out. He even says he's rationing and controlling the anima, and we see that poor character there with a tiny little vial of anima, trying to escape, trying to save some for itself, and then this huge hulking guard, the state, if you like, comes in behind him, grabs him, and that's it. And the justification for that is that he's a rebel trying to further his own ends, instead of working with the will of the state, where of course apparently it's the state that has created this problem in the first place, and all he's trying to do is survive.
And then you've got Denathrius. If you go back to 3 minutes 34 exactly on a paused screen, look at that smile. He's loving it. He's loving that he's holding the anima in like what looks like a goblet or something, some sort of something. And he's loving it, that he's got the power in his hands, while the rest of Revendreth and Shadowlands is just kind of rotting away.
Yeah.
So, and this is the first boss, or the main boss of the first raid. So,
we already okay. That's interesting.
So yeah, that is something to spoiler alert. But the first raid is called Castle Nathria, and Denathrius. I'm pretty sure this guy right here is the final boss of that raid. So the fact that we're gonna get in and kill him instantly in the first raid means he's probably not any good to be keeping around. So
that kind of makes sense. I mean, here we've got the shortest video, which is leading into the first part of Shadowlands expansion, and if we deal with him first, that kind of comes into another thought that I had towards the end. Is here he is stealing the anima, which is the life force of the Shadowlands, really. And what have we seen already before, particularly in Ardenweald?
yeah,
We've seen the loss of the anima. The whole area is going into drought to the point that they can barely keep themselves alive, let alone bring back the souls.
they're having to
before they
sacrifice
go.
wild gods like Ursok.
Yeah.
Just to even keep the land alive.
And here is the source of the problem. This guy is trying to control all the resources of Shadowlands for his own personal greed and gain. And everyone is suffering because of it. So it makes sense that this would be the first part to deal with when we go in, is to remove the obvious source of internal corruption of the system.
Remove a corrupt society and bring back balance, pretty much.
Before we then go on to the larger issues that are perhaps manipulating even this guy behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The jailer.
The jailer
You
and
know,
Sylvanas, she's got to be stopped because she's causing wrath all over Azeroth, and now she's back here and potentially see the Lich King, maybe.
yeah.
Don't know, but
I,
or Arthas, I mean. So
I
yeah,
think this video is interesting,
I liked it.
because
It had a very good, very calm style.
everyone at the moment is, talking about, capitalism versus communism, socialism, and, all of these kind of issues. And it's perfectly encapsulated right here in this video, with a touch of evil. I
Yeah,
mean, the glee on the faces of the people torturing those souls, torturing Garrosh. They love their job.
yes, even like at 2 minutes 30, if you go there on the video, you can see them. They're obviously high up because I assume they're standing in Castle Nathria. They've literally got their life chained to them so that no one can steal it from them, I assume. And look, they're loving
Yes,
it. They're
yeah,
loving holding it.
yeah. That's it. And it
Uh,
could also mean that they're tied to the system, so they're not only getting the benefits from it, but they are also very much, they can't remove themselves from it either.
so it's
But why would you?
symbolism.
You're partying every day.
Yeah, pretty much. While the
At,
people in the
at,
corner, where was it?
at, yeah,
Sorry, you go.
at the expense of the poor.
Yeah, which if you go to 2 minutes 46, you can see these poor people literally in front of a fire, so obviously struggling for warmth,
Yeah,
with tattered cloths above them to symbolize, yep, they're poor, they're struggling. And as soon as this other guy, we didn't get a name, I don't think, but as soon as this guy goes to even give them a touch of life and energy back, nope, straight
yeah,
off to jail, pretty much, or straight off to punishment, or whatever that big beam of light was right at the
that's
end
it.
here.
Yeah, and there you see, here's this poor guy, obviously starving, with a tiny little gourd. The others, the animals, literally flowing out of it. The container can't hold it, and yet here he is at 251, struggling just to keep his little supply. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really liked it. That was the art style and just the music. I love it. Like when did they start it? It was back in Draenor with the Gul'dan and Duratan
yeah,
ones. They've kept it
the
ever
war
since.
chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, and I personally love it. It's brilliant in my opinion.
Mm.
They do
So,
such a good job.
I mean, all of the other cinematics have been good. I think this one really brings, a strong emotion into it that is going to set the tone for, we step in. First of all, we're going to go through the zones. And the last one, I'm pretty sure, is going to be Revendreth, where you're
Most likely.
introduced to the covenants, before you can actually go off and free play, if you like. And so this is going to be the final thought in people's minds as they
Yeah.
then start to develop into Shadowlands, start to take down the dungeons, start to take down the raids, and start to change things for the better.
And on the subject of at the start we see Garrosh. Um,
hmm
where is it? Somewhere here. Yep. If you
I,
go
I
to
felt
two
I felt
minutes,
you go there. You got the chills, didn't you?
I
You were
did.
waiting for that.
So I'm wondering because he was just chained up the whole time. We see him for just a few seconds, chained up, pretty much getting tortured. Look, if you go to 2 minutes, 3 seconds, he's getting the life sucked out of him from his
Yeah.
eyes, his mouth, every wound in his body.
Mm.
They're beating the life out of him because obviously in lore he is so powerful that he would
Well,
have.
he had so much will to live. He was willing to
Yeah,
bear anything.
pretty
So
much.
yeah.
But I'm wondering if because there's the whole debate in the WoW community of like, was Garrosh wrong? Was he ever evil the whole time? Because of examples like Stone Talon Mountains after that orc bombs the tree,
hmm
and when Sylvanas is raising the undead, and even he himself, who was blood hungry for power, even said pretty much, "What are you doing? I don't like this. You're defying nature, Sylvanas." And I wonder if maybe because he's just getting tortured here, once we bring the corrupt Revendreth people, I forget their names off the top of my head, um, back to an order, will we see more of Garrosh and maybe some redemption for him? Or was he so evil because he betrayed the Horde, he betrayed the Alliance, he killed everyone, became an old god, essentially, at the end, for power? Is he
hmm
just going to get thrown into the Maw too? Just like, nope, see ya. Off to the Maw,
Yeah.
off with Arthas and all the others.
Has he, based on the fact that he and Sylvanas had a bit of a thing going against each other, maybe Sylvanas has pulled some strings to make sure that they torture him good as her final act
Oh,
of revenge against him?
maybe actually. That could
Could
be
be.
interesting.
Mm,
Since I'm going to make a wild guess here, but based on all the cinematics and everything we've seen, Sylvanas is probably the jailer's like first-hand person. Probably how she is suddenly so powerful to even rip the Lich King's helmet just like it's nothing,
mm.
and one-shot Sao Feng. And yeah, so she's probably got the power of the jailer. She's working for him, and yeah, she could be
I think
punishing
so.
Garrosh, possibly punishing Arthas as well. Who knows?
I think so. I mean, everyone wonders where did she suddenly get the power to destroy one of the strongest artifacts Azeroth has in the Lich King's helmet with apparent ease.
Yeah,
Well, maybe that was her final act to betray Azeroth to the jailer and to the Maw, and was just given phenomenal power one time to be able to do it. Um, it's quite obvious that she's serving uh, the jailer as some other master much more than her own responsibilities as they were to the Horde.
yeah.
So, mm,
And from the few things I've heard of the jailer, of course, everyone's just speculating, but I'm pretty sure he's what people are thinking a ancient titan. Or Ian
mhm,
Hazukosa said something about a titan plus plus in terms of
yep.
power, so that could be really interesting. Which maybe is why he's literally trapped in hell to prevent another Sargeras situation. Possibly. That's my thought. I don't know.
Well, quite possibly. I mean, if you look at it over the entire course of the eons of history, he's had pretty much unimpeded access to souls and power for millennia.
Yeah,
And this is his moment, he's chosen. So he would have a lot of stored power, and definitely be looking for the opportunity to use it. All of that, whatever it is that motivates him has just been festering around in him for years and years, waiting to come out. And here's
yeah.
his chance.
And he's finally using Sylvanas as his puppet, basically. Maybe he tried to use Arthas as his puppet in the first place, as the Lich King. That didn't work out, possibly.
Mm,
And now they're using Sylvanas as a way to break the link between Azeroth slash the universe and the Shadowlands realm. And
mm.
now maybe he's trying to finally break free to become just a rampant Titan like Sargeras was. Maybe. I don't know. This is just me talking off the top of my head, but
Mm.
based on what we're seeing. But
Until we know, we don't know. But some good ideas. So
I'm
yeah,
so excited for Shadowlands. Like I've told you, this is the first expansion in a long time. I've been genuinely so hyped for.
yeah. So
It's
no,
gonna
it's
be
it's going
awesome.
to be awesome. Very, very good. So there we go. There's some thoughts just as we right on the cusp of Shadowlands and the beginning pre-events and so on. Uh, it's coming close. It's coming close.
Oh yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Have you got any other ideas? Have we missed something? Have we inspired you to think in different ways? I don't know.
Are we right with our theories or are we wrong or I don't know? Because we're just speculating here too. And
We have no idea.
if you want to join us live, we will be streaming every day leading up to Shadowlands and we will be smashing Shadowlands. I'm keen to go hardcore in Shadowlands. So join us both on Twitch. We've both got channels. The links will be in the descriptions. So yeah, come join us
Looking
live.
forward to see you.